So in conclusion to the film, the Lord will bring people together from different places, different spaces, different containments, different situations, and different scenarios. And I said I was going to bring this to the end because of the fact that this is technically the end of the film, but it's a word in itself for my kingdom marriage people. God is bringing his children together 2 by 2. He needed to bring kingdom marriages. If you went back and you go and look at the video that I said that the king is being brought or being sent into the harvesting field because the prodigal came back, because of the fact that the prodigal was needed in order for him to come back to the very field in which he had walked away from. And he had to continue to bring forth and till that land, but he could not do it without his wife. You must come together 2 by 2. He's bringing together marriages, relationships, business partnerships, and groupings of people in this time and in this season that are going to be assumed and look like they do not belong together. But because of their strength, their fortitude, and the skill set that each individual has, he is about to bring these people into alignment together. Because when they come together, it is literally going to be what God needs for his plan to go forth. Let me remind you of the scripture. Let's go to scripture. Since y'all love using scripture. Exodus 23. The laws of justice and mercy. I was saying this in the previous part. Little by little, I will drive them out before you, and you will have increased enough to take possession of the land. I will establish your borders for the Red Sea and the Median Sea, and from the desert of the Euphrates. I will give into your hands the people who live in the land, and you will drive them out before you. Do not make covenants with these people or their gods. Do not let them live in your land. They will cause you to sin against me, because the worship of their gods will certainly be a snake to you. I didn't realize it. This was the scripture I was looking for in the last one. God ain't playing with these folks. He is bringing you together with your God-ordained spouse so that you can bring together and till the land, for it was a dry, desolate place. But Beulah means the land will be married. You will marry your partner, and you will come together into the godly, divine, aligned groupings of people, just as this group came together at the end of this film. Because it was a divine purpose that was needed and necessary. There are people that are going to come together that in a divine purpose for the glory of the Lord, and that there may be testimony in their mouth, that they will see the glory of the Lord and the increase, in order for you to take possession of what God needs you to take possession of. That's what it was all about. Exodus. That was Exodus 30 through 33. God is about to enter you into their promised land, just like these horsemen were entered into the godly affiliation. You are about to enter into God's dominion and authority into the promised land that he has given you for the benefit and the glory of God himself, and the manifestation of his will, his desire, and his glory upon your life and the lives of his people. And they will come to you and they will bow down to you as according to Revelations. God ain't playing. He said it shall be so, and that is what it shall be. So the movie ended with the agent going to Paris to meet the Interpol agent. She was standing there reading the paper about the fact that the safe company was now going to be charged for inferior safes. And I want you to look at it like this as well. The trick was the fact that he was the man's son, the man that had died over 20 some odd years ago. I think it was 25. And he had witnessed his father's death. The credit union, they supplied the finances to the insurance company that was owned by Tressler. And lastly, finally, the safe company that had the safe not buckled, his father would have been able to get out of it. God is about to empty the safe where all your enemies think that their stuff is safe, their finances are safe, the things that they're safe, the stock market's safe, all of these types of things. Crash, Bitcoin crash, this crash, that crash. Everywhere that they stole. Credit unions. Look at what happened with the banking systems. You think it's going to get better? God's about to flip it. For what the enemy meant for evil, God's about to turn for his children's good. And you can bet on that. You can bet on that. So he ends up telling the woman, and the woman said, he said, I guess you have to turn me in now. And she said, well, maybe I just have enough faith that some mysteries should never be solved. And she kissed him. And they locked a lock on the fence and tossed the key in. And they repeated the edict from the beginning of the film over again. So they say at the end of the film that because now you have seen what we do, that you now understand